I've spent so much of my life alone.
Do you let people see you? There must be some kind of barrier or protection against that.
They're gonna reflect back to me what I believe about myself, which is that, like, I don't belong here. How dare you tell me that my body and my own desires don't have a place here in this world? She just wants to hear that it wasn't her fault.
That's right.
I'm Dr. Scott Lyons.
And I'm Alyssa Nobriga.
And this is The Hot Seat. Today, we're going to introduce you to Tifanei in this beautiful session where she brought in a theme that so many of us feel so near and dear to us, which is this sense of how do we experience belonging and a sense of deeper connection to more people, and how do we feel seen? So many of us have loved people in the way that we want to be loved, but we don't receive it or we don't get to experience it. And we really get to unpack that in this session.
Yeah, it's about authentic expression, really being in our power, being authentic, and being able to be received by others, but also receiving our full selves. It's a juicy, powerful session. I hope it serves you.
My name is Tifanei Nicole Moyer. I am based in Durham, North Carolina. I was practicing as a civil rights attorney and a movement strategist, somebody who, what that really means is like I was helping to build collective power, taking power out of harmful, abusive institutions and putting that power back into the hands of the people that those institutions are ostensibly supposed to serve. What brought me into that work is what led me out of that work. And so I left my career and I slowly began a practice where I got to really serve people finding liberation for themselves. What brought me to this conversation, for so much of my life, I have been fighting on behalf of other people or feeling like I needed to protect other people. I think my question is, what am I missing? Why don't my relationships around me really reflect my greater desire for deep and sustained intimacy? There's a lot of long-term relationships that I've recently ended, feeling like this is not the type of love that I desire to have for myself. And then also kind of recognizing that I don't have many examples of the love that I desire. And so I'm like, do I even know what I'm doing? Have I even made the right decision in ending these relationships? Or that feels very alive.
Can you tell me about the relationships that, what's been modeled for you in terms of relationships?
Immediately, I'm thinking of my parents.
Yeah.
I grew up since I was 5, moving around every 2 years. I'm 37 now, and I still do that. So what I witnessed in my parents is they have each other, and not a lot of close friends around them. My dad grew up in foster care, so he didn't have a relationship with his birth family, or that lineage. And my mother also grew up as a military brat, so she ended up moving around a lot. And by the time I was 5, we lived in Germany, and we didn't have access to any of our extended relatives from there. And so what was really modeled for me is we have this tight-knit group of people, for better or for worse, and the rest of the people are perhaps not that important.
Yeah.
Or at least not in any permanent way.
Yeah. There's this theory called rings of intimacy. And at the very most is ourselves. And then it's our our close family. And then it keeps progressing out until we get to community and the global community. And as I'm hearing you talk, I almost feel like some of those rings, they don't exist or they're disappeared.
Yeah, I feel emotional hearing you say that. For a few reasons, actually. So the first thing that comes to mind is a couple of years ago, I moved to New Orleans. Kind of moved is a loose term. I went there and I didn't know when I was leaving, or how long I'd be there. And I realized I have a bunch of extended family just 3 hours outside of the city. I went to the town where my grandparents had met, grew up in, where a bunch of my extended relatives had been sharecroppers, likely enslaved around that area. And I just had no idea that I had so much family out there. And I remember I went to visit for like a Christmas ceremony. And my aunt was like, these are your cousins. And I'm just looking around like I'm related to these people. And I could just like feel my heart like expanding in a way where I was like, wait, like who I am is so much more expansive than what I grew up understanding.
Was there a sense of more belonging in that experience?
Ish.
What are the tears?
A lot of things. One, it's like, oh, there's this love. And then it's also this like sense of like missing out.
Being with your family touched you on multiple levels. One was like, oh, there's so much love. And there's also this like, oh, I've missed out on this.
Yeah. So the other thing that I was thinking about, the example was like, I was formerly a civil rights attorney and a movement strategist. So I would like either be an organizer in movement work or I would represent or support people in movements. And a lot of that was about creating the community that I never understood what it was. And I felt very similar in that moment in this town in Mississippi that I did in the movement work, which is kind of like, I'm of you, I can literally see myself in you, and I have no idea who you really are, and you don't know who I am.
Was there a need for something more?
I think there's a longing for something more.
Yeah.
Like the idea of needing something is like foreign. Like all of my needs are met by me. You know, I don't need other people to meet my needs, but there's this longing to, and I should have used air quotes for that, but like there's this longing to just be like deeply known. And I think in that desire to be deeply known is like to be able to exist freely. You know, there's no acting, there's no performance, there's no mask. It's just all of me, and the weirdness or the sharpness or any of that has a space here. Yeah. There's no like somebody viewing me and wondering if I'm safe or wondering if I can fit in or wondering if they're safe with me. And being new in so many spaces and so often in my life, that's the interaction I'm most familiar with.
Yeah. It's been perpetuated.
Yeah.
Not just from your ancestors, but from your own family and then what you're doing in your life now by moving every 2 years. And so what I hear is this longing for really being known and seen.
Yeah.
Not just from yourself, right? Because it starts here, but it doesn't end here. It also gets to be played out in connection and in relationship.
Yeah.
And so how does it show up relationally? Because that's one of your intentions, right? Do you let people see you? Or there must be some kind of barrier or protection against that?
I've experienced a lot of evolution around this, I think, and kind of realizing, oh, I've poured into relationships where only a part of me has been able to be seen. Just this last spring, it was like an epiphany where I was just kind of looking around and I was like, oh, the people that I'm pouring into, I've had the subconscious awareness that they didn't have the capacity or interest to hold all of me. And so I pour into those relationships because they're going to reflect back to me what I believe about myself, which is that like I don't belong here or that there's not space for me. And so what I'm experiencing now is me looking around like, do any of these people have the capacity to hold me? And a real friction and like a lack of understanding from me of like, can I tell that? Like, do I know that? I don't know. I don't know that I have enough practice or understanding to know how to assess that or what that feels like or if I'm making sense.
Can I reflect something back to you that's going to sound a little weird?
I would love you to.
I'm just so caught by something that you're doing so skillfully, which is the amount of time you look at Alyssa, you then look at me, and then you look away. It's as though you're giving us both the same amount of care and connection. And I don't know why, but it feels important for me to go, this feels like a strength of yours. The ability, as we're talking about being seen, which is like such a fundamental desire for so many people, I'm just aware of how much energy you put into making sure you're seeing us equally.
Yeah.
Does that resonate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel so many emotions bubbling up.
Stay with that.
It's important to you.
It's so important to me.
We often love people the way we want to be loved.
And it feels like such a gift. You know, like I've spent so much of my life alone. And, you know, only recently have I realized how alone. And, but when I reflect on that, I think about like how deeply I love myself and how much I enjoy like spending time with myself. And it feels like such a gift. And I kind of feel like what you just named is really similar. All of these rooms that I've been in where I felt like I didn't belong or I wasn't seen, like taught me what it means to like create space and build relationships with people. And I just love playing with that. I love creating those spaces. It was one of my favorite aspects when I was practicing law. The memory that came to mind when you were talking about that is I used to litigate on behalf of people who were incarcerated. And that would often be the thing people would note was like the level of attention and sense of like safety they felt in relationship to me. And I wasn't aware at the time of like where that was coming from or why that was so important to me. But that's the memory that comes up as you say that, which is like, it's been many decades of trying to figure out how, or trying to reflect back what my own heart desires. Thank you for reflecting that to me. It was really nice to hear.
The superpower of yours.
Thanks.
What's it like to be witnessed in your superpower?
It feels really good. It feels really good. It feels affirming. There was earlier today I was thinking about that threshold I mentioned earlier. I was thinking about how it feels like almost kind of like that phrase, like the glass ceiling. I'm like, I can see where I'm going, but I feel like there's like a limitation. And something about you asking like, how does it feel to be recognized or seen in that? I'm like, oh, maybe that's what that is. That's the sensation I'm feeling in my body. Like, what is it to be recognized in what I'm creating or feeling?
It's almost like as you are being seen and letting that in, the idea that you have a glass ceiling is the way that it's limiting. Can you see that? It is so innocent and subtle, but let's just come back to just being seen. In all of your authenticity and all of your care and the safety that you provide for yourself and others. Even at that threshold that may feel uncomfortable, like that gets to be breathed into and welcomed.
I'm getting this like, I'm a very visual person. I'm just getting this vision of like me like looking at the glass, but like going through it and it's like water now. It's like, it's like clay.
Yeah. And you let that in pretty easy. You see it and then you just swim in it.
Yeah.
Then you use your creativity and artistry for your healing, for breaking through the illusion.
Just having this like this almost like this guardian voice, like, so what do you want now, child? And I'm like, I mean, I know, but like, I don't know.
What do you know?
I'm so aware of what I'm creating within my business and in my life. And this like vision I have of myself of like this land that I have and this house that I have and what this like community feels like, even though it takes practice and like building the aspects that I can sense. I think maybe the I don't know is like, it feels like I'm laying bricks down and it's so slow, the laying the bricks versus like how expansive the vision is.
Because even the house, I think it represents something. So what would that be for you, that representation?
Safety is the first word that comes to mind. Yeah.
Because even when you were talking about your family and realizing you had family there was the expansion and then there was a moment. And then we went into the being witnessed here. And then there was the, oh, I have a problem. I forgot about this. And so we're just naming that pattern and understanding even the vision is showing you safety. And we get to create that in the physical. We get to create the land or the business, the relationships. But what is it really pointing to? Something deeper, which is a sense of home, a sense of belonging, a sense of safety.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like safety, one, like what I named earlier, like to fully be myself, because this is my home. So like it's my art, it's my things, it's my cooking, it's my, but also like safety to create, creating these things without fear that somebody else might take it away or impede it or, yeah.
What would it be like if we reframe that? Safety to also feel, because safety is not the absence of fear, because fear and different emotions are going to be here.
Yeah.
But what if there's a safety deeper that you're rooted in to be authentically you, and to allow these other feelings to come up, knowing that you can navigate them, not moving away from them, but allowing them. When you check in, what feels safer?
Definitely allowing them. I'm just getting like memories of like a few years ago, like I'm like in the woods, like just literally naked, and I'm just dancing and singing, and people around me are just, they're curious, but they're not like judging, which that curiosity feels so important.
You're fully expressed.
Fully express, yeah.
I'm curious for a moment. So you said in the last year, there are people you recognized you weren't your full self with.
Yeah.
What were the parts left behind?
The soft parts.
The soft parts?
As I say that, I'm aware of my own role in creating kind of this persona of like someone who is like in her power and has it together and doesn't need other people, Yeah.
I've heard her today.
Yeah, she's a badass.
She's a badass.
Yeah.
It's clear. And
But the soft part of me is like the source of that magic, and it feels really important that I get to express that part of myself and to be messy about it. It's like, I just feel like so much of my life I've had to, or I've felt or thought I had to have it together. Like if I'm emotional, figure out the emotions, then I come talk to you about it. But I'm never expressing my emotions in like live while it's happening or asking for help in them.
so it feels like we've gotten to meet the soft part today too. Any other part that hasn't gotten to come out today?
Of course, it's like, yeah, there's lots of us.
Yeah, I know. When we're talking about the rings, I want to know the rings of your system, like your inner system of like, who are all these aspects of you, these parts, like the wild one who runs in the woods naked and is singing and expressing, the soft one who can share emotions, the strong one who's a total badass.
The primary voice that came to mind was like this very sensual, sexy Tiffany. Is like, oh, yeah, that feels loud.
What's the voice of that part?
It's more like an energy. It's like this like very sultry, but like very playful, very knowing, like very wise, like just very aware of her power in a playful way.
Mm-hmm.
Like just on the verge of cocky.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. She's been definitely asking to be seen more and very loud lately, actually. Yeah.
What would we call this part or this rhythm or this energy?
Sultry feels very correct.
Hey, sultry.
Yeah, sultry. Let's name her sultry today. Yeah.
What would be like the ideal ecosystem where we're all to hang out with the sultry? Like, is it a beach or is it a nightclub in Ibiza?
I love that. Not exactly nightclub vibes,
Okay,
but it's like there's lots of candles.
Lots of
There's like
candles, yeah.
oranges and reds.
Yeah.
There's definitely some jungle vibes. There's lots of big, luscious plants, thinking rainforests. And that like humidity, wetness is like very present too, very clear. And laughter. There's some laughter. Yeah.
And how much does that part of you feel like be known right now?
I'm just hearing like center stage.
Center stage.
Yeah, and I feel some sadness too. And there's been like so many childhood memories of the shame around sexuality that I feel like I've been trying to hold, like with integrity, but like it's not coming from a place that wants to be held like that. It's like I'm feeling like temper tantrums. And so I'm just getting this visual of Sultry being like, and deal with that. So I can be out here.
We have a little tantrum paddle, if you
So much.
if you want. We call it the tantrum paddle.
Okay.
She likes to be hit on the couch and such, if you want, or any other way, plain. You can stand up, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I can stand up with you, Alyssa can, or you can. What do you like?
Center stage.
Center stage,
Yeah.
tantrum. You know what? Just do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to feel into this. Just feeling like she's like, how dare you make me feel so fucking small?
Yeah. And what's the movement of that? What's the action that how dare you?
I feel like I need the
You don't
paddle.
even need it. I know. See.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare you?
How dare you make me feel like I'm so small?
What's the body with that?
Look at you. Get the fuck up. How dare you tell me that my body and my own desires don't have a place here in this world? Everything about me is all of us. I am creation. I made you. This is what we're made of. Stand up.
How big do you feel right now?
I feel so tall. I feel like I want to tell everybody who has ever felt smaller or shameful for their own sensual, sultry, sexy needs to get the fuck behind me and let me just try and lead the way for what.
Strength in your leadership and your conviction.
Could we try something?
Yes.
From that tall, tall power, can I have you take one step forward in that tall power? Ooh. So I'm going to have you take a step back, and I'm going to have you take a step forward in that power and knocking anything down.
I just feel like I don't need to knock anything down.
You don't.
Because it's not really in my way.
I stand corrected. So feel that. I don't even need to knock anything down because it's not actually in my way. When you're ready, one more step forward with all of that, if it feels right.
I just keep feeling, get behind me, Tifanei.
Get behind me. And what's that like? Can Tifanei get behind you? And let the sultriness really get to lead the way.
Yeah, it's like this smaller version of me showing me all the people who hurt me. Just kind of got like this question of like, why? And I don't have an answer.
But what does she need from you?
She just wants to hear that it wasn't her fault.
That's right.
It wasn't your fault, baby. This has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. And this is your power, your open heart, needing her, belonging to her and her to you. This is the reclamation.
I feel like I should have known that this is what was going to come up to me.
Yeah.
I recently had an old friend reach out to me and tell me that she had fallen away because her partner thought she was having an affair with me. Which I had no idea. I had no idea why she disappeared. And it's such a common story. I feel like I've lost a lot of friends in that way. And so the fact that that happened just a couple of days ago makes me feel like, oh, my sexuality or my sensuality has been so unsafe and a threat to developing relationships or being in them. I can feel my parents, who were both parents when they were teenagers. And I'm feeling scared. It goes deeper than that too. I can feel my father's mother, who I've never even met. I feel her showing me too how dangerous it was for her.
So come back to your heart as these images and this insight comes forward through your lineage. Come back to your real power, which is your open heart, enveloping all of you. The warrior, the surrendered one, the sensual one, all of it gets to be welcomed in the embrace of your open heart. What's present right now?
It's like this narrative that it's too much or I'm too much.
Yeah.
It's too much, I'm too much.
Yeah, too much for who?
I just feel like it's too big and scary to walk fully in that power. It's too wild and uncontrolled. It's like everybody who is in my field.
You're being authentic to yourself will bring forward insecurities in others who have not had the courage to be true and wild and free. But that does not mean that you are too much. Maybe too much for your small self, but not for the truth of you.
Or too much for their small self. Yeah.
And it's an invitation, an initiation if they choose, but your responsibility is to yourself, to your truth.
I'm aware of something. I saw you take 2 steps forward. And that sultry, tall self. And I'm aware we're still here. And I'm aware we were like rooting and hollering. And so can that also come in? Yeah, you want to take a seat or stand? I'm wondering if that can also be true.
Yeah. Yes, I think intellectually I'm very aware that that's true.
And can we open any little windows in your skin, in your heart, in your belly, to also take this in, to absorb it in, the way we take in music?
The roots of me, my feet are like taking in all this like iridescent, sparkly energy, cleansing. It feels like it's coming from my ancestors.
Yeah. Do you feel your bigness?
Yes and no. The no is like I feel like I'm a part of this bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
Can you access your too much?
The part of me that feels like too much. Yeah.
And when you have access to this part that feels like scared to fully release and be yourself because it's not safe, when you have access to that, I'm going to invite you to open your eyes. It's not too much for me. Your bigness, your wildness, your sensuality, your softness is beautiful. It inspires me.
What's running through my mind and understanding now is how often my bigness has been destructive. And my heart is like very grateful for the destruction. And it's like the things that needed to go.
You are so in touch with a kind of Kali energy
I was just going to say that.
of this of let it burn, because whatever is not true will burn.
Yeah.
But the authenticity and resilience to stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
But I want you to feel the connection in your bigness so that you can feel that Scott and I, it's not too much for us. And repattern and reprogram that, because I really get you're self-reliant. You've got a lot of strength within you. And wow, your leadership, I can feel. I'm like, I'm standing behind her. Yeah. And in connection, this is where it reprograms. With your eyes open, what happens when you look at us from here?
Like deep relational connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also see in the way that you're looking at us now, that you're letting us see you more. Like I feel taken in, not just looked at and seen. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
becomes bidirectional, or what we call relational.
There's some of the larger family roots.
Yeah.
There's a deeper family belonging, a connection.
Yeah.
And when it's available, you drink it in. There's less blocks to that.
This is where those rings get created, right? It's not all relationships are meant to be so intimate. That's the most inner rings. But we can have relationality and connection in a sense of, you used the word kind of expanse before, like cousins, right? They may not know what we were like at 7 or our favorite ice cream flavor or our favorite color, but there's a sense of relationality in these, like, again, these rings of intimacy, even as it gets further out, even in community, right? In a room full of 300 people, some people might see you and know you, but there's something about being in relation together, and that's a ring. Does that make sense or resonate?
Yes. Yeah. A lot of things are coming up.
What's coming up? Yeah.
And I mentioned it, I think, earlier, like the desire to exist in relationship and community in a way that I have not seen modeled to me.
Yes.
And so it's like, I hear you. and I understand theoretically what it means.
There's some part that doesn't think it's possible.
Well, there's a piece I haven't named. You can still be in a room full of people and maybe not know all the intimate details, but still allow yourself to be seen.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. So I'm not talking about, even in community, they may not know our most intimate details. They may not see all the parts of us and know all the flavors of us individually because they haven't had the opportunity to have direct connection.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change from the same way that you're looking at me differently now, which is you're looking at me, you're seeing me, but you're also taking and allowing yourself to be seen. And imagine what that would be like in community.
When you say that, what's really coming to mind is like why coaching has been like such a beautiful experience, because there's the container and that's the goal, to really like create space to fully like be seen. And I love it so deeply. I'm like, how do I replicate this in a bigger space? And that's been the question. And I think as you name allowing myself to fully be seen, that really clicks.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is where it is. This is the real work. Because then we're not creating spaces for others out of a lack within us.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, I feel this fullness and I just want to offer this to people.
Yeah.
So even right now, you're letting us, we're connecting in a deeper way. You're reprogramming and repatterning that.
Yeah.
But I'm wanting to help you connect back what's actually true about your bigness, about safety, about your full, free, authentic expression, and how that shows up in relationship. Playing with this exploration with us here, earlier it was like, what I witnessed was there's like a warrior in you that is just like, I'm like, I will stand behind, yes, please. And there's also this softness, the willingness to be vulnerable and let go. And then there's a hurt child who thinks that she's too big and that your freedom will hurt others or it's a threat. And so to upgrade and update this programming, I'm curious what that sounds like. What, from a genuine place connecting with her. Because if the work really starts with you, we're updating it here.
There's like this one answer, and then there's a bigger I don't know.
Okay.
And the one answer, I don't know what to do with. I keep seeing TikTok.
The app.
Yeah, TikTok being like short, like stories, sharing stories, share your story.
Share your story.
Yeah, you're so visual. I think it's more metaphorical.
Okay.
So, and we can play with but you're so tapped in your own wisdom, it comes through visually. And I would encourage you to think of it metaphorically as well. So I hear TikTok is like share your story.
Yeah.
And maybe that's I'm going to play with it and you try on to see what fits. Share your truth, your authenticity, all of yourself, your experience.
Yeah, what's coming up there is my family. And like, there's a lot of myself I contract or like make smaller. And it's not hidden, but it's like bite-sized pieces. And I'm just feeling how that's like a example of something bigger. And I can kind of feel the back of my heart opening.
Good. Let that happen to when this younger voice says, I'm too much. It hurts people to be fully expressed.
I feel myself like taking your hand and saying, what do you want to do right now? I'll just do it with you. You don't have to do it alone. And I'm bigger than them, so who cares if they don't like you doing it? And just asking her, what do you want to do? I'll hold your hand.
Yeah, you're creating safety for her. And it's almost like she's been this protection for you, this warrior. And there might even be a bigger love that also welcomes and creates softness for her. Kind of like a Russian doll. This bigger love that welcomes the warrior, the child, the sensual one, all.
I thought there's like this specific relationship I've been navigating, letting go, friendship. And I felt this relationship with him like slamming on me, like slamming on the expansion of who I am. And that's where I just was. Felt almost like glue shutting the door. And I'm just feeling and hearing how just being here with the two of you is practicing being bigger, for lack of better words. Like,
Those are pretty good words to me.
I feel an expansion in your authenticity. And we genuinely see you. Yeah. It's easy to see you. And you let us in, and it's a gift. Yeah. You add to the space.
Add in a little more, and the alchemy of this relationality. Add in a little bit more of letting us see you. Because there's a softening in your eyes that's almost, I feel like, welcomed in. And it feels even easier to be with you. Because there's something interesting I want to reflect back. So I can be my authentic big self. And I can take up a lot of space. And I can see you in that. But I'm not giving you space. You feel that?
yeah.
But if I let you see me, and I'm big, and I actually don't have to be as big as a form of protection, but I get to be big as who I am, do you feel how much more spacious? All of a sudden there's space in the relationship for both of us.
Yeah.
And sometimes our bigness is like when people say you're too big or they don't know what to do. Some of what they're having trouble saying is, can I have more space to see you too? This is where it gets really tricky sometimes, because on one side you'll hear coaches, be all of you. Be as big as you are, and that's fucking true. And you also have to make space for people to see you in that.
Yeah.
And if you don't, they're going to feel like it's too much.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it is too much, but not because you're too much, because there isn't enough space for them to also be in relation to you. This is nuanced shit.
In fact, earlier I said, I hear you theoretically and intellectually, but I can't place it materially. Yeah. And I feel like
You getting it. You feel it.
coming in the material world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had to get to that point. We had to build up and give permission for you once again to be big.
There's kind of this felt sense of creating a memory, like a blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just want to reflect, like, this warrior, I just love her. I'm like, yes, please, more of that. And I can see the warrior in you and this, like, really supporting civil rights. Like, I feel that. It's part of your medicine. And I also, you'll feel the difference of when it comes from a protection of like a defense and just love. And, just tuning into where that comes from, because sometimes people's reactions are also to that protection, and sometimes that's fierce love. Yeah. But you'll always attune to where it's coming from in you, and when it feels like a pattern and when it feels true. Yeah. And the sensual, like all of these parts of you, I just genuinely love. And it's a gift to see and to be in your space. Yeah. And I know that was one of your intentions, but this is like a genuine experience of mine. And I love that you let me in. Like I can feel you receiving that. And who you are, the bigness of you is beyond any of those patterns.
Yeah.
And your real power is in your open heart, which includes and welcomes all of it.
My heart just feels really soggy. Thank you.
And there are going to be people who are triggered because it will bring forward what they've not allowed in themselves
Yeah.
or what they haven't seen in themselves. And that trigger it's a teacher, it's feedback. And there's this opportunity for you to allow them to have their trigger without it touching you.
Yeah.
And when it hooks into yourself, then it's an opportunity to use it as breadcrumbs to see where you're not free, to see what needs tending to inside of you.
As you say that, I'm feeling a lot of compassion. And that feels tied to that, like that protective love as opposed to the protective defense. And it really resonates. Like earlier when I was feeling very connected to my ancestors and feeling like it was so much bigger than me. And it feels like there's like this medicine in being able to see others being triggered by my bigness and like being in a space to offer love that's both medicine for me and that other person who's experiencing the trigger. It feels like this cycle of like, now we all get this medicine now that you're triggered and I'm healing and you're healing, we're all healing together.
And who is an example in the world that really represents and embodies that? Because it's important. You said, I need an example. And I think our subconscious need examples to see that it's possible and it's possible for you. And to also include our humanity.
Yeah.
Not an ideal of perfection that's not human.
Mm-hmm. And then I told you guys I was listening, and I know I'm saying her name wrong, but Tanarel, as I was coming in here, but she's like, you know, her presentation is like this ethereal goddess, sensual, like so talented musically. And I've seen her perform, and it's just like everybody feels permission to be themselves in that presence, or to be their sensual selves in her presence. So that's the person who's coming to mind.
And do you see how you offer that permission to others?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's part of your medicine in the world.
Yeah.
Because you've been so courageous and so giving yourself permission to have your sensual expression, it unconsciously gives others permission to reclaim their own. And in a world that is shut down and has shame and a lot of unconscious patterns, that is important.
Feeling a lot of joy bubbling up. Like, yes, okay, let's go play now.
Yeah. From here, how do you want to ground? What do you take from this? What are the nuggets you want to remember and know? Because those old patterns will come up.
Yes.
They get to come up.
A nugget is really feeling the strength and the cheering of my ancestral line of like, we know, we get it, we've been there. And we like believe in you. It's like deeper than that. It's like we are you.
I just have a moment. Can I do something?
Yeah.
Okay, will you close your eyes and just feel all of you and let yourself just really inhabit your body and imagine that your first line, your first family is behind you with their hands extended, supporting your back, pouring into you, and their families behind them, extending their arms, pouring into from their hands to their hearts, and another generation back. And we just offer a healing forward and backward through time and space, that any codes, covenants, oaths, promises, karma, anything that can be released and cleared through time and space back into the nothingness from which it came, be done so with grace. And letting yourself breathe into and feel the support of your lineage. And healing, clearing anything that can be resolved with grace, be done so forward and backwards, knowing that you are taking a stand for love and embodiment of your truth right here and now. And just breathe that support in and just send that gratitude back out through your heart, forward and backwards.
And just the visual is like this, it's like this circle, and is everything around is like collapsing, but like in a way that creates an openness. It's like this bright light and this direct path. And it's like, even though like there's a path and this openness and these patterns, there's also this sensation of my ancestors being like free. like yeah, just like there's no script, just be.
And those are some of the circles and the roots, and you waking up to the support.
Yeah.
And all of this work is in service to your aliveness, in service to your freedom and your play. And in closing, I'm just curious, because this has come up a few times in my awareness. Is there a misunderstanding that relationships would take you away from freedom?
Yes.
Yeah, I would question that. I think that's one other layer of this, because you really value authenticity and being wild and free. And so if there's a competing desire around having relationships and not feeling like you can have that,
Yeah.
I would really investigate that
Yeah.
a bit more.
That feels rich. I will.
Yeah. Thank you, Tifanei.
Thank you.
What a gift
very,
you
very
are.
much.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you very, very, very much.
One of the things I think that was a major theme was, I think, familiar for many of us, where we feel like we're maybe this feeling we carry of that we're too much, or people can't hold us, or we're not actually being seen and felt and connected with, but that's our biggest desire. And so I was really excited that that came up as a theme today, and that we really got to unpack some of the components of it, because sometimes, as we saw, it's our inability to allow people to take us in. Sometimes we really are too big, and not in a negative way, but in a way that triggers other people. Or sometimes we're so big and we want other people to feel seen, that they don't have a lot of space to see us, and so they feel overwhelmed. And so there's a lot of different nuances and ways and strategies that we do as humans that might create some of that experience of not feeling seen and connected with, or we're not even choosing the right people who could see us. And that's another component too.
Yeah, I really loved that her intention was to be really deeply seen, and it felt so organic and natural for me to see her. I felt like there was a lot of openness for her to let us in, and I love the nuance of when you said how much space is being allowed. So if you have an intention of really being seen, do you allow that to be? Do you allow yourself to be seen, to let that in? And if not, if there's some protection that comes up, can you soften that? Can you thank that part of you, but not let it lead? What I loved in this analogy of this, this doll, where it's like, there's sometimes the warrior archetype within us, and then there's the child. And my goodness, when she just stepped into her warrior, I just was so in awe of it. And I loved the nuance of her really understanding, is this from devotion and love and fierce love, or is this from fear? Is this from protection? And both would be fine, but there's so much medicine that we have, and she was very aware of that, of some of the things that she's gone through in her life and how they've shaped who she is today. So thinking about the challenges that you've gone through, there are gifts in the ways that we've developed different parts of us. And sometimes when they're overdeveloped, it leads into then not feeling like we can be our full selves, because maybe that will trigger other people, and it probably will, but so will all parts of you. And so it's about being really loyal to ourselves and letting us, because a lot of my experience with Tifanei is that she's very self-aware and self-reliant and can take care of herself. And some of the healing work, the repatterning, was doing that in relationship, given that she has moved so much in her life that it's like, I really want deeper roots and I want to feel this sense of belonging. So she was really doing the work to belong to herself, but also letting that in places that feel safe, where she can feel seen and that she wasn't too much.
Yeah, and I love that we started with examples and then we came back to examples at the end to try to really anchor that. And it was interesting because when I asked her what would be like a model or example, she couldn't really come up to it with in the beginning, and by the end was really able to name a model and example of that what she was kind of moving towards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think that that's helpful, just to reference it in our system.
Absolutely.